Awesome. There we go. All right, just waiting for these last people to come in. Nicole, welcome. All right. Well, look, let's question. There we go. Did I unmute myself? I don't want the background noise from my room. No, you haven't unmuted yourself, Joey. You're good. Oh, sorry, you sent that to me directly. But your microphone is open. I can mute you if you want. And I can mute. There we go. I think we're done. There we go. Awesome. All right. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for those of you who joined. We've got 10 of us in here today. Um, for first timers, welcome. Thanks for joining us on today's session. And for familiar faces, welcome back. Today's session is all around generating leads from social media. Now, what I will say is when I run these sessions, I don't want these sessions to necessarily always be all about me. It's always about you, because you guys are ITAs trying to generate leads. So please feel free to ask questions. I've got the chat open, so if you want to drop it in chat, feel free. For those of you that don't want to chat and you want to unmute your mics, please raise your hands. Please let me know that you want to say something, and please jump in. The reason why is all of these sessions, I try to make these as bespoke as possible to everybody that's in the room, rather than just kind of do death by PowerPoint, and that's one thing I don't do. So there's going to be no slide decks today. It's all recorded. I've got this. Everybody that signs up, I'll send you a link to a copy of the recording so you can go watch it and go back to anything. But everything we do today is going to be about how we can generate leads, how we can interact with people, covering all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and we'll cover up a little bit around Twitter and Pinterest. What I do want to ask before we get started, whilst this is all around social media leads and how to generate leads for your travel business, can I please ask that if anybody's got any specific questions or direct questions that they're thinking of that's floating around their head, please drop them in the chat now so that when I get to it, or I can answer it now, I can answer it as we go, I can kind of pick up those questions and let you know. So just very quickly, housekeeping. If you guys aren't talking or you don't want to talk, please just mute your mics, just to remove the element of background music or background noise. Session, like I said, is being recorded. And please use the chat. Please raise your hands. Please get involved. The biggest thing for me is you will get more out of it the more you kind of put into it, and I'll make it as kind of to the point and to direct as we can. One of the things I will say, obviously, for those of you, I know I've got some members of our travel agent community here. Let me just add some more people coming in. For those of you that are members of our travel agent community, Coaching Agents Through Travel, this will also be posted in the platform. We posted in the network. I'll talk more about Coaching Agents Through Travel as we go through this webinar. If anybody wants any questions at the end about who we are and what we do, then I will answer those questions as we go. But I like to do these sessions every month. They're free, they're open to the public. You can come in, and it will either be tailored around platforms, lead generation, networking, picking your niche, and everything else in between. And for those of you that don't know, it's both myself and my wife, Alexandra. We run this business, and it is a community built out specifically for independent travel advisors. So with that being said, what we're going to cover is the multi-platform approach for lead generation. So how do we interact? How do we work across all platforms? How do we make sure that we get our profiles completely accurate to generate leads and contacts through social media? We'll talk about practical examples about how to get the right content out there, the hook, how to use all of these platforms to start gaining leads and gaining traction and getting people in front of you. And of course, the details around what we call lead magnets, and how we can do data capture to capture everybody's email addresses like I have done today, and how you can funnel these leads into sales and close deals at the very, very end of it. So there's a lot to go through, a lot to cover off, and more people coming in as we go. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the first section, and that is the high level overview of social media lead generation. So I'm asking this question to you guys. It's an open question, open mics, please. First of all, anybody know, or does anybody understand why? It's a simple question. Lead generation matters on social media for independent travel advisors. Anybody want to jump in on that one? Anyone got any ideas? All right. With that being said, Ultimately, it's allowing us to reach billions of users across social media. And this is it. A lot of people will just post on social media their hidden hope, as I'm sure some of you guys do, posting on different social media platforms, trying to generate traffic. The one thing I want to talk about today is why hitting and hoping doesn't work. We're going to talk about the three methods to generate leads through social media, which is posting, outbound, and networking. These are the three things, the three fundamentals to successful lead generation on social media. And it's about building trust, about brand awareness, showcasing your expertise, building travel stories and testimonials. Now, if you've already got clients that are traveling with you, I'm going to say this now right off the bat, testimonials, expertise, travel stories are such a big win when it comes to posting content on social media. The next thing is multi-platform strategies. So we're going to be talking about cross promotions, how we link our platforms together, how we talk about getting customers or clients potentially from LinkedIn through to Instagram, through to Facebook, and how you can cross-platform all of your users on these social platforms across every single area. And most importantly, the one thing that a lot of people don't do on social media is consistency. Put in the chat right now, for those of you here, how many times a week do you post on social media for your business? Drop it in the chat for me right now. I'll give you 30 seconds to put a number. How many times a week do you post on social media? All right, seeing these coming in once a week, 2 to 3 times. Try to do once a week. None. Just started. Newbie, welcome. Good. We're going to get you posting, trust me. On Facebook, automated post that I post on every single day. Okay, so we're going to cover a lot of this, and we're going to cover the importance of how you post and how you should be engaging. I've been silent for a while. TJ, come on, no silence on social media. You got this, right? There's ways that we can motivate this. All right. So, the reason why I asked that question is because one thing that I mentioned a minute ago is consistency and why we're posting on social media. Now, one thing straight off the bat is when you are consistent on social media, the algorithm changes. I'm sure we've all heard that beautiful word, the algorithm. The algorithm is key when it comes to socials. And the reason for that is because it then starts to promote your content. The more you post, the more you get out there. There used to be so many different rules about you need to post at this time of the day. You need to not do this. You need to not include that. You need to post Monday to Friday between 3 and 5. Honestly, I will tell you now, I have tried everything. I've posted in the mornings, I've posted in the evenings, I've posted at the weekends. For me, some of the stuff that I see is really just the stuff when I post really daily. Sometimes it isn't always engaging content because you do have to put fluff out there. And also, you can't always post consistently good content. So, the big thing for me and my biggest first piece of advice is finding a consistent approach to content. And if you're not posting now and you're new to it, for example, like you just said, one thing that I would suggest is don't just post tomorrow and then think about the next day. What am I going to post the next day? What am I going to post the next day? The biggest piece of advice is start building content out now. Start building a schedule and then maybe start from the beginning of March where you've already got 20 or 30 posts lined up that you can start posting. And we'll talk about the type of content that we're going to post on that social media platform as we continue to go through this. So, first and foremost, the platform that I'm really going to focus on first is LinkedIn. Hands up, those of you use your reactions on this platform on Zoom. Hands up, how many of you post on LinkedIn? Who's new to LinkedIn? Share what you've got. Okay. New to LinkedIn. Anybody else for my other job? Okay. Don't ever panic if you're posting for one job or another. It doesn't make a difference. Remember, LinkedIn really is about personal branding. Never post on LinkedIn infrequently. Auto post through Branch Up. Okay. We're going to talk about Branch Up. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of Branch Up to every single one of you. For those of you, whilst we're talking of Branch Up very quickly, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, Coaching Agents Through Travel, I actually put a video up the other day. I'm going to pause it. 1 second, if you can see it. Here we go. It's right here. I actually put on, here we go. This is what branch up posts look like on social media. And when you do branch up posts on social media, what actually tends to happen is you get no engagement or anything. Those of you using branch up, Do you get engagements? Do you get comments? Do you get posts? Do you get likes? Yes or no? Branch Up is great for getting your landing pages and your content out there. But what you actually end up seeing is content, I don't know if you can see it, that looks like that. I blanked some of it out, I redacted some of it, but nothing. It's just the same post that everybody's posting. The other day, I was on LinkedIn and I am an avid poster on LinkedIn, okay? It's more for B2B professionals, depending on who you're trying to reach and who you're trying to get out from. Lumilla, for my other job, we'll be preparing my profile to facilitate the transfer of travel, combining my previous education and international positions and languages. Love that. Very detailed. For me, LinkedIn, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to take you to my LinkedIn page. And this is why I said I'm not going to bore you to death with PowerPoints. We're going to my LinkedIn page. This is what we're going to do. All right. Can everybody see my LinkedIn page? Okay. So the reason why I want to talk about LinkedIn is because LinkedIn is a platform that requires consistency. I post on LinkedIn every single day. One thing you'll see on LinkedIn is something here called post impressions. Now, post impressions at the minute doesn't mean squat. Post impressions means nothing because at the minute, everybody's post impressions are plummeting. But what you're going to see if you auto post with Branch Up, you're going to see your impressions dwindle completely because there's no engagement. One of the things that I do with LinkedIn, I run 3 businesses. I run a training business, I run a call center business, and I run my coaching agents through travel business, which is what we're basically here for today. And the reason why I have 3 businesses, it allows me to really change up what I'm posting on LinkedIn. And you'll notice if we go to my actual profile here, one of the things that I don't do is I don't specifically post about one thing or the other. All my posts on LinkedIn tie into work. They tie into everything that we're doing. And they're really, really structured to create engagement. I use hooks. I use what we call something to hook people's attention, whether they are B2C clients, whether they are B2B clients, whatever it is, okay? Now, with this, you'll notice that every single hook is a question or a point. You'll see videos, it mixtures between me talking to the camera, me taking a picture on Friday at my kid's sports day, but again, tying it into the fact that I'm still working. Some of the biggest engagement I get on LinkedIn is through tying in personal, relatable posts. And guess what? I get inbound leads from these posts. Why? Because I'm talking about all 3 of my businesses on LinkedIn on a regular basis. The thing is, when you're using LinkedIn, you've got to be specific with who you're targeting. And that comment a minute ago about tying in your other jobs, languages, and bits and pieces is great for when you're targeting the right people. It allows you to reach out to people, connect with people, and connect with the people that you're engaging with. For those of you that are here, and for those of you that are watching this video post live, one of the things that you'll notice is where I get likes or I get comments, these are the posts that I actually go back and re-engage with people. I will send them messages. I will connect with them on LinkedIn. And I generate leads through doing that. One of the things that I have always failed at on LinkedIn is automated scheduled posts. Now, this isn't to say step away from Branch Up. It isn't to say step away from something, but LinkedIn on basic raw content just doesn't work. Now, if you can take the content from Branch Up, you can personalize it, you can tweak it, you can add your links, because I know Branch Up uses landing pages and everything else in between, then there's a really good way of utilizing that to benefit what you are doing. But as you can see here, everything's are calls that I've hosted, webinars, videos, picture of gold. There you go. I think, Greg, you even commented on that one, and you're here today. Prime example, right? So there's a lot of different ways to engage people on LinkedIn if you're doing different things. Now, posting is one thing, but the other thing I want to talk about on LinkedIn is your profile. Now, in the chat right now, hands up or message, say yes, say no. Do you have an optimized LinkedIn profile? And if you don't know what that means, just put no.
I keep that commission. Like I said, it's normally going to be the same price that you paid anyway if you went on Expedia or on hotels.com, booking.com.
No, 70%. I love that. Very specific, Maren. Very specific. I love that. Don't think so. No. Okay. So what do I mean by an optimized profile? LinkedIn on an optimized profile is having everything in play that is your page. It's your profile, it's your brand, it's what attracts people to you. Because what will happen is when people see your posts, they will come to your profile. I have had the most profile views this year than I think I've had in the 5 years that I've been posting on LinkedIn. And one of the things that I can do with that is I can actually see those statistics. I can actually go and look at the stats and I can look at the analytics here. And I can see in the last 90 days, I've had 693 profile visits. Now, the reason for that is me reaching out to people, connecting with people, commenting on people's posts. It's not a one-way street. Don't just post and help. With LinkedIn, you need to be engaging. You need to be connecting with people and commenting on their posts as well. Why? Because it drives traffic to your page. Now, going back to the page, which is what I wanted to talk about, this is my page right here. You can see very clearly my two businesses. I have my Catalyst business, which is my contact center outsourcing and my leadership business. And then I have a very separate side for this, which is my coaching business for ITAs. Now, in here, this is the key elements that you need to have in an optimized profile. And if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. Please continue to do so because I want to answer these questions as we go through. Or please feel free to answer any or ask any questions by unmuting your microphone, okay? First things to have is a banner and a photo. If you don't have a banner and a photo, get on Canva, create one. There are so many tools to use to create a banner for your business. I literally went into Canva and I put in the search bar LinkedIn banner and then I customized one. That is your advertisement. And very soon, LinkedIn are actually upping their game where you can actually have multiple banners for one profile, which is going to improve it dramatically when that comes in. Next up, it's who you are and what you do, your name, and then a very clear tagline. Because I have a 3X business owner, 3 brands, 1 missing, training, outsourcing, and coaching. When I comment on people's posts or when people engage with me, they see that banner. So this is something that you need to have in play. You have links to your contact info. One thing that people avoid, especially when running their own business, is they still hide their contact information. Not me. As I run my business, you can find every single way to contact me on my contact page on LinkedIn. This is the key to having somebody get out and get in touch with you. Yesterday, somebody booked a meeting in my diary for this morning. They came across my profile on LinkedIn. That's it. I had a Zoom call with them and I booked another call with them to actually talk about their business and how we're going to help them. But this is one of the things that you should have in place every step of the way is all of your contact information. If you don't want to share phone numbers, don't. But have a meeting link in there or have an email in there. Have a way for somebody to contact you because sooner or later, somebody is going to want to use that. If you pay for LinkedIn Premium, you can have a button here which allows people to go directly to your website or a booking link. And then the other thing that you need to do, especially if you're posting from a creator standpoint for content, is what they call creator mode. And you can come into the analytics and you can see this information. Creator mode allows you to be able to backtrack, look at your impressions, look at your search appearances, where you're appearing in searches when people are looking for you. And you can start to go through this in detail about how you can get in touch with people. The about section needs to be filled out. You need to have something in there about what you do and services. Have all of this in here. Have links. Again, you'll notice all throughout my LinkedIn page, I have calls to action for somebody to get in touch with me. This is how we start to generate leads. And then obviously everything else is indifferent and you can start to put all your experiences, your businesses that you own, that you work on and everything else in between, but you can have access to that. Any questions on the profile? We've got a lot to cover. We've got 40 minutes left and I'm going through this quickly. You'll still have access to the recording, but is there any questions from anybody so far? Okay. So 2 big things off the back of this. 1, post frequently. Find relatable content. If you don't know what to do or what to post on, the easiest thing that you can do is go to ChatGPT. Go on to ChatGPT and start building out content in there. Hands up, those of you that use ChatGPT. Good. You should be using ChatGPT. Now, bearing in mind, I do want to state, don't allow it to replace and do all of your content for you. Allow it to work in tandem. Good. I love that you love it. I do. I love it. I use it every day. I live by ChatGPT, right? One of the things I do, for example, right here, and I'll show you, I actually have a LinkedIn strategy development, okay? And in this chat, specifically, everything is built out for my posts. I'm very detailed. I'm very orientated. So when I come through to this, all of my content speaks to the same things. It talks about first comments. It talks about hooks. I've built this out and I've asked a load of questions and I've built this specific ChatGPT to help me create content. So I will go in there today and say, hey, I want to build a post around coaching independent travel advisors. What would you suggest that I do? How would you suggest that I do it? This is what I would like to cover. Be very, very specific and then ask it for suggestions on images, captions, wording. Get it to help you, get it to assist you and build this out. Now, I'm not saying you should then just go over here, copy and paste it on LinkedIn, but go in there, rework it, reword it, tweak it, make it look human. That's the one biggest thing that people can see posts on LinkedIn that don't look human. Yes, Marin, there is a paid version of ChatGPT. It's the pro version. I pay for it. I think it's $24 a month. You get a bit more access to it. You get a bit more access to the content. The material's a little bit more structured. In terms of other AIs you would recommend, DeepSeek is new to the market. Everybody's using DeepSeek at the moment. However, every time I try and use DeepSeek, it says, I'm sorry, server is busy. I'm sorry, server is busy. So there's a few issues here and there with that, but it's a very good platform to use to help you build content. But if you can see here, yes, Perplexity is another one. Somebody else just coming in. Perplexity is another really good tool. There's a lot out there. Google even have a fantastic AI studio, Gemini. But if nobody's used it yet, I'm going to show you this one very quickly whilst we're talking about AI, and this is the beauty of it, is Google AI Studio. If anybody's ever used this yet, this is phenomenal. You can build things out. You can even stream your screen in real time and ask it to look at something and ask it to break it down. So what you could do, for example, is you could go profile on. Oh, Robin, I'm just going to mute you. Oh no, Robin's just, I think he panicked and pressed leave. You can go into here, you can share your screen directly with Gemini, and you can talk to it in real time, and it can tell you the whys, the how fors, the wheres, even using Excel, PowerPoint. Where do I click for this? Where do I click for that? It's a very cool tool if you're not using the AI Studio. So back to LinkedIn. Final thoughts on LinkedIn before we jump into other areas of lead generation is commenting, engagement, and connecting with people. Now, if you're not already doing this on LinkedIn, you should be connecting with your ideal clients. Now, how do you find ideal clients? For me, it's about looking for the types of people you want to go after. Are you in corporate travel? Are you in luxury travel? Are you in family travel? It's looking about who you want to connect with. And I'm going to use corporate as an example because we're on a B2B network here, is look at business owners, business founders. Go and connect with these people and say, this is what I do. This is what I offer as my services. Or even just connect with them and start commenting them on their posts. But with having a headline at the top of your profile with what you do, luxury travel agent, corporate travel agent, whatever it might be, you'll start to get in front of people. My wife runs her own six-figure ITA business. All of her connections, all of her corporate connections have come from engaging posts and comments and interactions on LinkedIn. Every single one of them without fail. And that is by building out a strategy that works and building out the people that you want to connect with. And a top tip, if you find 5 people you want to connect with, one of the things that I would suggest you doing is going to their profile, studying it a little bit, and going to something called their activity. All right. When you go to their activity, you go onto their profile and you come down to this, you have show all posts. Under show all posts, you'll get a very specific URL at the top of the page. As you can see here, LinkedIn, Oliver Cat, recent activity, all. You can copy all of these links because that unique link is unique for everyone. You can copy that into a spreadsheet. And then what you can do is you can use something called open multiple URLs. You can come over here. You can open this extension here. You can copy all the URLs in here, and it will take you straight to this page specifically for all of the people that you want to comment on. You can like, comment, and close the tab, move on. And guess what you're doing? You're getting in front of people. My advice to you, if you want to use LinkedIn, top tip, please start commenting and engaging daily. 30 minutes a day. Bed in the morning having your coffee. Bed at night lunch break, whatever it might be. Get on LinkedIn and just start engaging and connecting with people. And eventually people will start finding you and you'll start to see your profile views go up, your followers go up, and everything else. For those of you that are in our community, just so you know, we have a very detailed video in there on LinkedIn and engagement and outreach. You can go and find that in the platform and you can go from there. Any questions on LinkedIn? In the chat, open your mics. Any questions? All of this is going to be tied in together, so don't worry. All right. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is Instagram. I'm assuming as independent travel advisors, all of you are on Instagram and posting on Instagram. I know some of you said they're doing it frequently, infrequently, not as often as you like. My advice when it comes to Instagram is building out your profile the right way. Now, obviously, we have our coaching agents through Travel Page. It's new. Please give us a follow. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, if you're not already doing so. But essentially, it's having all of your information in your profile that you want people to be able to get in touch with you. This should be a direct way for customers or clients to find you when they start to see your content. And all of your content should have either calls to actions, comments, hashtags, and posts or relevant keywords in your copy. The reason for this is the way Instagram works now is it all looks at what they call SEO. And I'm sure some of you have heard that for websites and everything else in between. The best thing about this is having high visual quality information and content that people want to go to. So whether it's trip information or anything else like that, it needs to be in those posts. Your bio needs to be clear exactly who you are and what you do. As you can see here, empowering independent travel advisors. That's what we're doing. Tools, training, community. Follow us. There's a call to action in that bio. Give us a follow. Sign up. Another call to action for free resources. And then a link that goes through to a web form. Every single one of you that is here on this call today and the people that aren't here or watching afterwards, you went to one of my web forms. And guess what? That was a method of me effectively, the same way that you would do this, is creating leads. All of my posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and email have all had a call to action to capture name and email address. And all of you would have gone through that process. Not only then, you would have also put your name and email address in when you registered for this link. And I have that information. Now, this is the same process that you should be following for your clients. If you are looking to win business, the reason why you do this, they may not be ready to buy now, but guess what? They are going to be ready to buy at some other point in time. So it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but guess what? If they see your content and they start to engage with you, then they can start to do that. My biggest top tip for all of you with content right here, right now, is customers are more likely to buy from you when they have seen between 5 to 7 pieces of content, whether that be video, materials, voice notes, connections, comments, you name it, 5 to 7 times. So it goes back to my original question is how often are you using social media? Either not often enough, then ultimately that's why it's important to be consistent. As I said, I post on LinkedIn every single day. I spend 30 minutes commenting every day. I do it on Instagram. I'm commenting every day, or I'm connecting with people or following people. This is the thing. It's finding the time to do so. But I guarantee if you're having your morning coffee, orange juice, breakfast, after you got the kids ready for school, whatever it might be, find some time just in your diary every single day to do it. Laurel, can I use the same bio on all media? Absolutely. There are no rules with this, right? A lot of people will tell you there's a rule for this, there's follow this. Oh, there's a hack for this. You can go viral with this. Truth is, there is no rules. Do what you want, what makes it feel right for you. And to give you an idea, oh, trust me to get a phone call whilst we're doing this. Jumping back to the screen share, it's a similar bio. It's not directly there, but you'll also see my bio in Facebook. The content is still the same. If I actually just jump through to our coaching page here, you got a little bit of information. You got that information there. You've got a link for our Instagram, our website, which isn't live yet, by the way, just FYI, before you start stalking me on the web. It's not live, but it will be soon. And again, this is where these recordings are going to be housed. But you can see everything in here. I'm posting in here. I'm getting traction. I'm getting views. I'm not running any ads or anything like that. But it's again, it's about looking at the views, looking at what's working, looking at what's not. You can see here this particular video. All right, fair enough. It didn't very well. It got 189 views, 3 interactions, 20 minutes watched though. But as you can see here, all of this is important. Why? Same with LinkedIn, same with Instagram, analytics. Go through it, understand what's working and what's not working. And this is going to help you build better content. For those of you currently posting right now, please put it in the chat so I can see. Are you posting images? Are you posting reels? Are you posting stories? Is it a mix? What are you using? Talk to me. Mix. Okay. And also, guys, just one thing as well. In a minute, I'm going to ask you all to save the chat. But if you want to put your social media platforms in a post in here as well, so all of us can follow each other and learn from each other and do that. The whole point of this, yes, we're all competitors of each other, but guess what? We all live in different areas of the country. We all have different niches. We all have different preferences of the type of clients we work with. Share your social medias. If you want people to follow you, connect with you, and help each other out, this is why I'm building a community for travel agents because it's about support, it's about network, it's about growth and helping each other. So please start sharing those if you want. Okay, mix. Mix when you were posting. Okay, fine. My advice, look, for those of you that I can see you smiling at TJ, it's fine. For those of you that aren't posting consistently, and I said the same thing that I said to you earlier, is start building content now. Don't post today and then think about tomorrow, then think about the next day and think about the next day. Please, please build your content now. My content for LinkedIn is built out a month beforehand. My content for Instagram is usually built out a couple of days beforehand because I want to get ahead of the curve. So it's little things like that so that we can plan it or use a scheduler. If you don't have a scheduler, if you don't have a social media scheduler, there are a load on the market. I'm actually using a really good one that I found on AppSumo. I know a lot of you have probably heard me talk about AppSumo before. I paid like $29 for lifetime access for an AI social media scheduler. It's a really great platform where you can build content and then forward date it, schedule it out, link all your posts, link all your social media accounts. And it's a really good way of doing it. There are a load of expensive ones out there, but it's really important to have one out there. Wondrous Wonders. All right, perfect, Maran. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else, please feel free to share your socials. Um, so the reason why I want to come back and just cycle back around to Instagram and Facebook is because there are so many different pieces of content you should be posting. And again, there are no rules to this, but it's video content, imagery, graphics, posts with calls to action on telling people what to do, how to do it. I'm going to come on to what we call lead magnets in a moment, and giveaways and things like that to attract people to sign up to things. But my biggest thing is if you're on Instagram, put behind the scenes stories on your Instagram. That's one thing that I'm trying to do more of at the moment, because people see your posts, people see your reels, people watch your reels and your content, but nobody ever sees behind the scenes. Film a booking in time lapse. If you making a booking for a client and put that on there and show them the life of an ITA booking, all right, or how a meeting goes, or is it going to be on a Zoom call, or is it going to be over a coffee? People are interested in that kind of stuff, and it definitely generates a lot of traffic when it's more real and they get to know you. One thing I will always say, I see so many people on social media, and I'm sure you probably see it too when you look at other ITA platforms, is everybody's posting pictures of the Caribbean. They're posting videos of cruise ships, videos of all-inclusive hotels. Yeah, do you know what? While that's great, people are going to love that and go, "Oh, look at that water in the Maldives. I really want to go there." But sometimes it is just as all right, Marin, I can't wait to get on your profile and start having a look, okay? Um, it's great to have that stuff on there because guess what? That's what you want, right? You want people to connect with that and go, "Oh my God, I will go easy on you, I promise." Um, whilst it's great to have that type of content on there, people want to connect with you. People want to know what you do. So I followed a really cool ITA. She's based out of the US, but she only focuses really on the Bahamas. And all of her content is her like either in her car or going to the Bahamas, talking to her camera, telling people what she does. And all of her reels are specifically just on what she's doing, how she's booking, just had a client request this. If you're interested in going to here or going to Nassau or going to Exuma, it's really engaging because people are watching it and it's not just the nice waters, nice beach. Mix it up, all right? You know, you can post content all day long. You can go online and go and get pictures from Canva. For those of you registered with host agencies or specific tour operators, I am sure, like most people, you all have access to stock image. Guess what? If you've got access to stock image, everyone's got access to stock image. So everybody's going to be using the same thing. So look at what you're posting, how you're posting, and mix it up. Look at what's working, what's engaging. If you find one post in particular gets more likes or more comments in one direction, then you stay on that path. And that goes the same for TikTok. It goes the same for Facebook. It's how you come across and how you interact with people. So that's the platforms essentially of how we do it. Now I want to talk about how we can grab those leads and how we can start to build out our customer pipeline, our funnels. This is the meat of the meeting. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about now is I want to talk about tools and tactics such as lead magnets, data capture, and what we call webhooks. Yes or no? Has anybody heard, put it in the chat, yes or no, of tools, tactics such as lead magnets, data capture, and webhooks? Anybody heard of those before? Okay. Nope. Nope. I guess we're going to see a couple of no's in here. And if any of my ITAs from our community say no, then we're going to be having conversations because you should be saying yes because we spoke about that recently.
I've heard of lead magnets, but not the other stuff.
I'll let you off it, TJ, I promise. Okay, so what I want to do, let's break each one down very quickly. Lead magnets. And Lumilla, don't worry, you're new to this. It's a lot to learn. There's a lot to take in. You're going to pick up, and I hope you're getting value from this. Okay, so lead magnets, specifically for ITAs, are things like, and I'm sure you've seen other ITAs post this, are things like free travel checklists, packing guides, mini destination guides, cruise check-in guides, what to remember when you're traveling, i.e., passport, children, family members, I don't know, whatever is on your list to remember. These are the types of things I mean, that makes it funny actually thinking about it. Someone's going to do a reel about things to remember when packing your family. I don't know. There's a lot there to unpack, but these are the types of things that you could be posting on social media to gain client or gain followers or traction or engagement. Okay. So let's say right now you did a video. Hey guys, Oliver ITA here. Here's the top things to remember the next time you're going on vacation. 10's too much, probably 3 to 5 key things. Now, what that is a hook. That is a lead magnet for somebody to go, okay, I need to watch this because I'm going away next week. This is great. And if you can start to put more of those in place, you're going to get more consistent followers. Okay, as a former meeting planner, list had sub lists. That's fine. We can do a series on it. Do a 10-part series on list and sub list of everything you should be packing, right? There's so many ideas. Use ChatGPT and say, hey guys, I'm an ITA. I need to build lead magnets out for my real content on Instagram. I'm thinking things like travel checklist, packing guides. What would you suggest? Give me 10 other suggestions. Okay. And you can start to build out videos like that. And the reason why we do this is because ultimately you can either put this stuff out on video or the real sneaky part, and this is where it gets interesting, is you create that document in Canva or in a PDF or a Word document or whatever it is. You then upload that document to Google Drive. Now, these are all free, okay? And all you do in your video is say, hey guys, next time you're going away and you want to know the top 10 things that you need to remember before you go on vacation, click here. And that's when you put in a web form. That's when you put in a sign-up sheet or something like that. Because now what you're doing, the same way that I said to all of you, for those of you that want to talk about how to get leads from social media and gain tractions or build customer pipeline, is get somebody's name and get somebody's email. And then guess what you do? You then email that list out to that person. Now, what have you got? You've got their first name, you've got their last name, and you have their email. Now they're on your list, so they can go into your email marketing. They can go into your CRM. They can go into your database. There are lots of different ways that you can capture these people. Lead magnets can be put in your bio in LinkedIn or your bio in Instagram. It can be a link on your Facebook page. For those of you that have ever heard of ManyChat, for example, ManyChat is a paid service that connects to your Instagram, and it's basically Instagram automation. One of the videos that I think for some of you that are here today, I did a video and I just put, hey, comment lead if you like the link to this session. And people commented lead. And guess what? A link went out to their Instagram messaging. So again, it's another way of capturing names and emails. The goal is to capture as many email addresses or phone numbers as possible in exchange for valuable information. And when you start to capture this, you now start to build your list out. And then guess what? You don't sell to them immediately. The next time you build out a free guide is you send it to them. You've already got them on the mailing list. And then please say, go and give us a like on social media for this post so that people can then also get their hands on this. And all of this leads you into data capture. And how do we do data capture? A couple of things. Firstly, web forms. For those of you who have or haven't used them, there is one web form that I will always recommend more than anything because it's easier. I'm going to show you this right now. Most of you as an ITA will probably have a CRM in place. If you're with a host agency, they probably would have supplied the CRM. Yeah, you can use that. I don't know the functionality of that CRM. Is everybody seeing my screen right now? Okay. The one thing that I do is I use HubSpot. Here are my contacts in HubSpot. I build everything out in there because it's free. And then what I do is I have a HubSpot web form. Now, this HubSpot web form is a link that is generated. I created this form so that anytime anybody signs up, guess what? They immediately become a contact in my CRM. So I've got access to them. They're now on my mailing list. Now, there's other automations in here that push these contacts through to my email platform. Most of you would have received an email from info@coachingagents-through-travel or CAT Success, which is our website when it goes live. Those emails are all linked to this. Everything talks to each other. Okay. So again, I'm building out my client list. I'm building out my portfolio. The Zoom registration link that all of you clicked, again, captured name and email address. Automatically, those names and emails go through to my CRM. And of course, I can use messaging sequences like SMS and things like that and text everybody using direct message to people. And of course, some of you in here would have received direct messages from me on LinkedIn. So for those of you that received those LinkedIn messages, I would have messaged a copy to say, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. I'm running a free webinar on Wednesday the 19th at 1 o'clock. Here's the link. So again, multiple ways to do it. Now, the fact is, a lot of this stuff, truth be told, and I will tell all of you, I know this is a lot to unpack. TJ, I can see those eyes going. You're like, he's talking about all this stuff here, right? All of this stuff runs on 90% automation. I probably spend on all of this between web form building, linking, and messaging. I probably spend 2 hours a week doing all of this. Everything else runs on automation. My LinkedIn messaging, my email messaging, my web forms, my reels. The only thing I really do is I post the reel content, I write the messages, and then everything runs on automation. This is how I am generating leads for my business, all three of my businesses on automation. And if you can capture names, data, email, first, I think I said this to many ITAs in my lifetime, is when you're doing data capture, first name and last name, never capture full name together. First name, last name, email address. And the reason being is it makes it easier when you're doing outreach through marketing. Okay. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. And then guess what? When some of you message me back, which nearly all of you did, I'm sure at some point, I spoke to a lot of people, so I apologize if I didn't speak to you or remember speaking to you. But one thing I will say to each and every single one of you is when you message back, that is me. On the front end, it's all of my automations running. But when I talk to you directly, when I come back to you and I'm sending messages to you, that is me. That's when I step in. Because guess what? We all run businesses. We want to turn our potential side hustle, which most people start as an ITAR. It's a side hustle. It's an end game. It's a retirement plan. It's something to grow into. It's something to build. Lumila, you say you're new to this, for example, right? It's how we start this. But ultimately, We want to run a business where we're productive and we're earning money and we're getting clients. That's what this is all about. And the fact is, the more you can do outreach, the more you can get customer data, the easier it becomes to gain clients. Going back to Facebook, for example, there are a ton of open Facebook groups where you can go in as an ITA. These ones are not locked down. They don't have rules on, and they've got questions with people asking about what if I do if I want to travel here? How do I go on an Amel Waterways cruise? How do I book a Royal Caribbean cruise? All of these people are asking questions. Now, you don't go in and sell yourself, because if you sell yourself, it's what we call a pitch slap. And all of a sudden, you're pitching yourself. Nobody's going to come want to talk to you because you're coming across salesy. But guess what? If you go in there with help, maybe you've got a packing guide, maybe you've got a cruise guide that you've built out, then ultimately off the back end of that, you can say, hey, if you're going on an Amel Waterways cruise, here's a guide that I built. Go and have a look at it. And guess what? It's got your branding on there. It's got your logo on there. Who are they going to call? Who are they going to want to speak to? Who are they wanting to book through? How do you use these scenarios to generate leads? Now, one of the things that I am trying to do, and it's probably going to be my next webinar. I have a friend of mine in Australia, and his business is set up all around how to generate organic leads from Facebook groups. That's going to be our next webinar in March. He's going to be coming in. I'm going to set that up. I'm going to bring everyone in. He's going to do an hour session on that. It's a really good tactic. It's a very nice, clean way that if you want to grow your business and you want to learn from generating leads through Facebook groups, then he's going to be doing that. And that's just on Facebook. There are so many ways to generate leads on social media. And if I kind of recap a lot of this, because I know I've gone through it fast and you have the recording to go back to it. LinkedIn, building out your optimized profile, building out all of the information, links, ways for people to get in contact with you, and comment and post regularly. On Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, it's about posting consistently with content that allows for calls to action or generates leads through webhooks or lead magnets. Now, you can go online and you can go and build out guides. You can go and build out copy. Prime example here, one of the things that I'm doing in our community, and I'll show you this very quickly, is we've actually built out, and I'm going to show you this version because it's here. We've built out, for example, 26 Caribbean port guides. So if you specialize in cruises, for example, you can come in here. All of these guides are specifically built around all of these areas. So for example, here, if I open this one, it's going to Key West. You can actually take this document, you can rebrand it, you can put your logo in there, you can put your details, your phone number and everything in there. You can come into this port guide, you can see everything that you need. It's stuff that you can send out to your clients, and you can customize it, put your picture in there, put your branding in there. Everything you need for something like that is in there. This is our community. I'll answer any questions if anybody's got on that on the back end. But if you spend time building content out in Canva, you can generate so many leads by having this, because guess what? One reel that talks about the top 10 packing tips, you can do that video 10 times on repeat once a month for 10 months. You can recycle content. That's one thing that I do specifically on social media is I start to recycle content because people forget what content you posted last week. Leave it a couple of months, recycle that content, put it back in again. If you know that it worked, re-engage people with it, repost it, share it on stories. Everything that I do has a purpose. Every social media post has a reason for it. It has a call to action in it. It asks people to either comment, follow, like. This is how you generate leads on social media. And as an ITA, there are millions of people out there that are potential clients for you and your business. It's how you approach them. I guarantee all of you have got referrals and connections for clients within friends and family. And as much as people think, oh, my friends and family know exactly what I do, guess what? They don't know what you do. You can tell them till you're blue in the face that you're an ITA, that you book people's travel, you charge people, you don't charge people, whatever it might be. But I still, to this day, firmly believe that friends and family, no matter what you tell them you do, they don't remember what you do. It's crazy. Blows my mind. So look, that is a lot to kind of unpack in 52 minutes. I've gone through a lot of it. What I do want to do is I want to open the floor to you guys for the next 5 minutes. Whether you want to unmute your mics, drop any questions in the chat, please let me know. Please share anything you want. I know, as I said, I'll share this link for you when I render it and upload it, and I'll send it out to people so you can go back to it. But are there any questions from anybody? Any bits of further information that anybody wants? Please put it in the chat now. How useful do you think deal promotions are via social media? Maren, I'm going to ask you a question here. When you talk about an deal promotions, are you talking about like Royal Caribbean's got a deal on and I'm going to promote it on social media or something like that? Or are you
Yeah,
talking
something
about,
like that. I
yeah?
know an advisor that's actually really effective at it. And she posts, I think, deal roundups like weekly, and she gets a lot of leads through that.
So it depends on what you're posting and how you're coming across. I mean, if you haven't got a big following of segmented audience, what I mean by segmented audience is people that either want to go on a cruise or want to go on an all-inclusive or want to go on Virgin Voyages or whatever it might be, then that may not work. But if you've got an audience of clients and customers that have already booked through you, then yes, it can be very successful. If you're just starting out, you're inconsistent with posting and you don't have the following, it's kind of a waste of a post. But the good news is post it because then you're being consistent on your social media. But you've got to make sure your post is accurate because if you post the wrong pricing or the wrong deal or the wrong bonus or the wrong add-on, then that's on you. But yeah, it can be. It just depends on how you want to do it. Greg, where can I get someone to do all this for me for cheap? Outsource it. That's all I'm going to say, Greg. I have two executive assistants that I pay hourly for overseas who do all my design work, all my admin work. I built my team overseas and I outsource it. If you want their contact details, let me know and I can put you in touch with them. Okay. Thank you for the recommendation about research and preparing your post before the actual posting and establish a schedule. Yeah, guys, scheduler, tool scheduler. The one I use, it's called Follower, spelled like Follow. There's no E, and it goes like follow and then R. I think I paid $29 lifetime deal on AppSumo. If you haven't used AppSumo, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're a solopreneur, go on AppSumo, look at deals. You get lifetime deals for cents on the dollar, and you can find some really good apps in there, especially to help you grow and help you get better. Um, Tell me when you find them, Greg. How did you find them, Oliver? Okay, Maren, coming back to you. Okay, through my outsourcing network, because I have an outsourcing business, I have 35 call centers all over the world that do outsourcing calls. I actually met somebody in the US who specializes in bringing outsourced executive assistant talent on between 10 and $15 an hour. My EAs both currently do 25 hours a week for design content. One thing I'll never outsource to them though is I will never outsource my posting. That's a top line that I never do. I never trust them with posting because my content, I mean, when I've got the content, yes, they can go post it. But creating the content, as in my LinkedIn post, that's all me. That's not on automation. That doesn't run. That is all me. No, I had a big falling out with Upwork. It's not through Upwork. I actually have a company in the US. Friend of mine, Jenna. It's her business. She has a whole team out of the Philippines. Maren, if you want me to put you in touch with Jenna, I will put you in touch with Jenna and you can have a conversation. I think her hours start from something like 5 hours a week, and then you can bulk up and go from there. But honestly, my EAs are insane. They are amazing. And yeah, my business wouldn't run as it does if I didn't have them in play. But yeah, let's chat. I'll do an intro for you, Maren. I've got your email address, so I'll put you in touch. TJ, you got your hand up.
Yeah, so I think we've talked about this before. I mean, I have LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Um, and I'm looking at Pinterest and YouTube, and that's as far as I'm going to go with social medias. Because I'm not interested in X or anything else. And like, to be honest with you, Facebook is not even my best friend right now. Um, and so like in my head, I hear you. I know I need to post more, but I think I'm going to need to like take your suggestion on building content a month in advance because it's too overwhelming.
Yep.
Like Like it's extremely overwhelming to learn these platforms. See, for someone who's not social media person, like I'm just not that person, it's very overwhelming.
Okay. All right. No, I mean, 100% do it. And just start planning slowly, chip away at it. Just do one post a day. And then when you're 20 days ahead, start posting because then you know you got 20 days worth of content. And if you miss a day, all right, you miss a day, but you got to backfill it, but also then you're covered for if you do any vacations, if you go away, if you don't want to be online, like, and then you can schedule your content for when you're on vacation. But scheduling is key with that. Yeah, Greg and Maren, I'll send you those details. But take your time with it, TJ. Obviously, don't forget the social content in the network as well, which you can download and use. And there's a ton more coming next week as well. Any other questions from anybody else? All right. Ladies, gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on. As I said, I host these monthly. These are all sessions that I run that are open to the public. This is all based on our other business, which is coaching agents through travel. Just so you know, it's not a sales pitch. We run this specifically. It's an ITA coaching community. There's a few members in here. TJ, for example, is one of them. And we run that. Thank you. We run that. We do live trainings in that network every week. We provide tools, tips, and resources that you can download and send to your clients. If you want to know more about coaching agents through travel, you can stick around and I can take you through it. I can give you a demo of the platform. It's not open to the public yet. We're in a closed user group. But if you'd like to join the waitlist to find out more about the platform, then stick around. I'll be here for the next 5 minutes after this call. Everybody else, thank you very much for your time. I'll email you when we know when our next webinar is. And yeah. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon, and I'll let you know when this link's live as well. Have a good one. Thank you. I'll be here for the next 5 minutes. Right.